Today we're making homemade ricotta cookies. And I like to make these every year around the holidays, but these are great any time of the year. One of my favorite cookies for sure. So we're going to start with all-purpose flour, 3.5 cups, and whenever baking I always like to weigh out my ingredients, so this comes out to 495 grams. We'll add a teaspoon of kosher salt and 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Give that a quick whisk to incorporate everything, and we'll set that aside. In my stand mixer with the paddle attachment, I have 1 cup of unsalted butter that's softened to room temperature. And to that we'll add our sugar, 1 3/4 cups. And I like to flavor my ricotta cookies with almond extract. Put in 1 teaspoon. A lot of times you see lemon zest or lemon juice added. That works as well. I like the flavor from the almond. So we're just going to cream that together. Make sure it's well incorporated. We don't want large chunks of butter in there. Scrape down the sides, again to make sure everything's incorporated. And now we'll add our ricotta cheese. I have 15 ounces here. And this is going to give the cookies that signature texture. Add 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla. And we'll incorporate that. These cookies are really so easy to make, and they are so delicious. This will yield about 40 cookies. This looks good, and now we'll add our eggs, 1 at a time, with the mixer running on low. Add in our second egg, again let that incorporate, and this is going to help with the finished product with the texture of the cookie. So with our eggs fully incorporated, we can now add our dry ingredients. And with the mixer running, we want to do this in batches. About a cup or so at a time. Let it just incorporate. We don't want to overmix this because this is going to help with the texture of the ricotta cookies. We'll add the rest of it, and you can see the dough starting to resemble a dough, and it is going to be sticky, but that's okay. Don't add too much flour because that'll affect the taste of the cookies. We'll take this off and just scrape the rest with a rubber spatula. Again, the dough is going to be a little sticky, but don't add extra flour. So I'm just going to cover this with plastic wrap and let this chill in the fridge for at least 2 hours. You could leave it overnight, or you could freeze the dough as well if you don't want to make all the cookies at once, or if you want to make it at a later time. So I have a sheet tray here with a silicone mat. You could use parchment paper, just sprayed with a little cooking oil. And I have this tablespoon cookie scoop here I'm going to use, so they're all uniform in size. And just scoop some of the dough out here and put it onto the sheet tray. These aren't going to expand too much, so they don't need a lot of room in between cookies. I'll do rows of 3. So we'll cook 12 cookies per tray, and again, this is going to yield you about 40 cookies total at this size. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 176 degrees Celsius, and these are going to go for about 7.5 minutes. Just when the bottom is beginning to brown. And you can see that they held their shape nicely. I'm just going to transfer these to a wire rack to completely cool down. You want to avoid overbaking these cookies because they'll lose that soft texture. So make sure you set a timer. And these came out nice. They still have their shape. The bottoms aren't burnt. I'll just repeat the process with the rest of the cookie dough. So I have some cookies here that are completely cooled. I'm going to put some glaze on these cookies. Really easy to do, very simple glaze. I'm just going to take 2 cups of confectioner sugar, add that to a bowl, And I'm just going to add a little bit of milk. This is whole milk, a couple of tablespoons at a time, and just mix this together until it resembles an icing. You don't want to add too much milk. And to flavor this, I'm going to add some more almond extract. Since we added in the batter, I'm going to add another bit here, about half a teaspoon. A little more milk to thin it out a bit. And this is a nice consistency. This is going to glaze the cookies, and it's going to set, and it's going to be the perfect texture. You could flavor this any way you like. Again, with the lemon zest or juice. You could use vanilla. I like the almond. And I'm just going to spoon this over the cookies. I like the look of spooning it over the cookies. You could take them and dip them in for a more uniform coating of the icing. And you could do this any way you like. These I'm going to add some sprinkles on top for some color and sweetness. Then these, I'll sort of drizzle a little pattern over the top of them, have them look a little different. And then do the same thing going the other way. I'll leave just the icing on that, no sprinkles. And these will spoon over the icing the same way. And then we'll add some Christmas sprinkles to these. It looks nice. And then the other ones, I'll just spoon over the icing and just leave the icing on there. You could use white sprinkles, lemon zest is nice, any flavors you like. And give you a look at these. That looks really good. We'll just leave these to set about 20 minutes or so the icing is solidified. And these are great to wrap up on a decorative platter. You give away to family and friends for the holidays, or of course just to enjoy them at home. So make these ricotta cookies. They're really delicious. I absolutely love them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Helps this channel grow. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.